And welcome to another edition of Pitt Panther Talk. Mike Vukovcan joined by the guru, Harry Psaros, live from beautiful Bethany Beach on the Psaros family getaway. I know you are practicing social distancing while I'm home at my lovely confines of Hopewell, Pennsylvania. Big difference from Delaware. But we want to start off, as always, thanking the Buhl Agency.com for sponsoring our weekly segment with Harry, 724-443-5610. My man Aaron Buhl, big Pitt fan, good friend to the Pittsburgh Sports Now family. So if you have insurance needs for anything, he has 5 locations around Western Pennsylvania: Gibsonia, Butler, Warrendale, Mars, Allison Park. Please give Aaron and his team at the Buhl Agency a buzz. Harry, I didn't want to ruin your family vacation, but we've had big Pitt news over the last 24 hours.
Absolutely.
We need to get your input on it. Before we get into specifics of it, just your general thoughts on the big news of yesterday of Trevion Stevenson after, telling us that, and this is not a slam on the kid because I don't know his, what's going on. I'm just stating facts. A week ago, he told us, no one's going to change my mind on Pitt. I'm all in 200% or 1,000%, whatever he said. Yesterday, he decided to decommit. General thoughts?
I think the reason everybody was taken back, he was so emphatically Pitt on social media, continuously tweeting things like that. I mean, it was a daily tweet. So I think that's where people were shocked. You have to remember, decommitments happen. And I mentioned this, Mike, we shot, I think, a video, like it was not our last video, the video prior to that. LSU, during their run to the national championship, in 1 week, it was an oddity, had like 5 decommits. So, you hear the term trust the process. You kind of got to go with it. They do happen. 2 points that need to be made, and fans need to keep this all into perspective. One, if a player's going to decommit, it is a loss, but you want it to happen now and not happen right before letter of intent day. And if there's ever a frustration with myself, coaches, we've been doing this a long time, it's the money, the time, the babysitting put in. So when you get those decommits that happen like right before letter of intent day, that hurts. At least now they can reshuffle their deck, reshuffle their board, and quite frankly, maybe find even a better player. The other thing to factor in, this is not a normal year. Look, I'm sitting here at the top of the Psaros Parthenon. You can see the observation deck. Even here at the beach, I'm astonished at the social distancing, though, the lack of humanity that I'm used to seeing. So these players are committed based on videos. I'm not shocked this happened. I think it could happen again. And you have to remember, these are young, gullible kids. So any school could come and show them a video, and he might flip. I don't think it's going to happen a heck of a lot more with Pitt, but it's part of the process, and it's better it happen now than right before letter of intent day, because now there's still a ton of players out there, and they might be able to rebuild that position.
Yeah, 2 other guys I spoke to yesterday right after this happened, Malik Newton and Miles Alston. They both, with the news that there won't be football this season, they both, confirmed to me that they're still coming to Pitt, and in fact, to early enroll in December and January. Did you get the feeling that I did, privately, I didn't share it or anything, but I think I saw despite what he said to me, I kind of had the writing on the wall once Stevenson, who didn't visit, as soon as he got those offers from LSU or Georgia and Florida, I thought that was game over.
Yes, in some scenarios it isn't. The young man had a good poker face, but yeah, you could sometimes too on Twitter, you can tell by some of the follows, and if there's some aggressive following of the staffs, the people that just offered, I kind of saw that, and I wondered about that. But again, you know what? I've been doing this too long. God bless him. I wish him success. From my understanding, he was a player that was leaning towards leaning towards attending a Southern school until the big Pitt offer came through, and he was enamored with what he saw. But yeah, like I said, again, it's part of the process. I think the reason it shocked Pitt fans, he's obviously very adept at social media. He was putting out a lot of material on Pitt, and I think that's what shocked him more than anything. But I only had a few conversations with him, and when I was on, he did more talking than I did, which is rare because I'm Greek. And he was pretty emphatic with the Panthers. So, there was, I will say, part of me that often wondered, is he all in that much? Because he seemed very overzealous. And I got the vibe he was an excitable kid. So it's not shocking that when you get someone that excitable that they flip the switch towards a big SEC school.
You never want to downplay a commitment because it is obviously the Pitt staff wanted to get him. So it is a loss. But at the same time, if you want, as you said, the big thing is it came early. The other thing that I look at is the fact that if there is one position on this team that, if you're going to get a decommitment from, it's at defensive end, where Pitt has a history of being able to recruit. And they also still have a lot of young talent at that position in on the depth chart.
You hit it right on the head. And right below our deck down here, we were smashing pounds of crabs last night, shrimp, and honestly, we just had this discussion. Pitt is loaded at defensive end for years to come. So it's one of the deeper positions. If this was tight end or some of the other, even the offensive line, you'd be pretty frustrated. But there's a lot of talent there. And I have to tell you, I mean, looking at, I know there's a lot of players still left on the radar that are exceptional. And, so Charlie Partridge will be on it. And I have no doubt that they're going to find an adequate replacement. I think Stevenson had a lot of potential, but there's a lot of players out there that are comparable in talent. So just a matter now gives them more room to go in and find another one.
All right, one more thing here. Mike Vukovcan joined by Harry Psaros live from Bethany Beach. Our segment sponsored by the Buhl Insurance Agency. And then, Harry, I want to get real quick thoughts from you on the news of this morning. And the guy that Pitt fans have had their eye on for over a year, Aaron Donald, not Aaron. Hopefully he turns into Aaron Donald, but Elliot Donald from Central Catholic, 4-star defensive end. He's been kind of quiet in his putting out any recruiting news, where he's announcing that a week from today he will make his decision. It's obviously in his top 8. A lot of prognosticators are leaning him toward Pitt, but you never know. LSU, Ohio State, Penn State, all those schools. Just thoughts on Elliot Donald, and what would that mean for this class?
It's funny, Mike. Obviously I'm on beach time, so I woke up a little bit later than normal, around 9 o'clock, and my phone was already filled with DMs going, "Where's Donald going?" I'm going to go with my gut and just say that he's going to be a Pitt Panther. I think he's going to be a hometown hero, a legacy recruit. It would be significant for this class, and I think he's a young man with significant potential. Obviously, the Donald DNA is there. I think the only true competition, this is according to my sources, was LSU. But my gut says this young man has a lot of pride, wants to carry on the Pitt flag, go air it. So I think a week from now, Pitt fans are going to be very happy. And this is, by the way, I haven't talked to the young man. You're asking my prediction. My gut says he'll be a Panther. Part of me wonders that if the one Pitt fan that didn't snap the photo on Twitter that had his signature on Pat Narduzzi's ball hadn't put that out, this may have happened sooner. I could be wrong, but I do believe that he'll be a Pitt Panther. And obviously there's a lot of stiff competition for him. He's a talented young man that continues to grow physically. But I think we're going to be happy a week from now.
And speaking of, that defensive line and the strength of it, you add Donald along with Nakai Johnson from West Mifflin, a 4-star defensive end. That's your defensive line of the future that could potentially replace Jalen Twyman, Patrick Jones, Rashad Weaver, and et cetera. So, and the other big thing that this could do, Harry, is, copycat in recruiting. You get a signing or a commitment from somebody like Donald. who's not just a big WPL prospect. That's a national prospect, and that
Right.
carries a little weight, opens some kids' eyes that are considering it as well.
A lot of these elite players camp together, know each other. So to your point, you could see an avenue opening up, or it might lead to another great player coming to Pitt. And they already have even with the yesterday's loss, they still have a very good class. So next week will be critical, and I have a feeling that if he commits, you're going to see him turn into a leader in this class very quickly.
All right, Harry, enjoy the rest of vacation. Appreciate you taking the time to do this, and safe travels back. Say hello to the family.
Thank you very much. It's been great down here. I've seen a lot of Pitt fans in Bethany, a lot of Pitt fans in Rehoboth, and we've tried to social distance, but I see a lot of Pitt Mass, so I'll leave everybody with a big hail to Pitt. I'm going to go down and start surfing, and I'll see you all later.
All right, have some more crabs for me.
I will. I'll do that. You take care.
All right, Harry, appreciate the time. Pitt Panther Talk, Pittsburgh Sports Now. Until next time, so long, everyone.